These pictures have been drawn by students of which class?
Class 11 and 12.
11 and 12. And are they science students?
Yes.
Bio students or
Yes.
non-bio?
They're biology students.
They are bio students.
Yeah.
So this is something, really they are only students, but
Correct.
I have seen that even teachers draw a butterfly like this.
Okay. Even I find it okay.
It's all right, you think?
Yeah.
All these pictures, all these that they have drawn, also many of them,
Seems fine.
seems fine.
Yeah. What's wrong in this?
So because you're finding it fine and everyone thinks, so I have to tell you.
Okay.
So a butterfly is an insect,
Okay.
right? And the definition of an insect is, the basic definition is that it has three parts to its body: the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. So these three parts are not shown.
Oh.
And all the limbs, that is, every insect has 6 legs, 3 pairs. So they all begin from the middle portion of the body, which is the thorax or the chest, head, chest, belly. So from the last part, which is the abdomen or the belly, from there no limbs
start. Okay.
are joined there.
So I guess none of the pictures have limbs at all.
So yes, so that is the basic mistake. So it's not a butterfly at all.
So not 3 parts and the limbs are missing.
Limbs, of course, if you are showing the wings, then you can't show. Then you have to show a side profile.
Oh,
picture
right.
of
That gets
otherwise
covered
It
basically.
is covered by the wings. But the wings, from how they have started and where they have ended. So this is incorrect.
So you mean the wings also should be just in the thorax part?
Yes. Incidentally, this butterfly doesn't even have a head.
This is something just one unit.
Yes, 1 unit.
Okay.
So, but otherwise they are studying this in their syllabus. That is the sad part. Or it's the amusing part, or, whatever adjective you like to give it, or whatever way you see it. That although they are learning, the learning is taking place in one compartment. And the application, when you are being asked to draw it, is coming out the same way as you see, the butterfly is a very common motif.
Correct.
You will see it drawn everywhere. In lots of places you will see it being repeated. And there, they have not studied, those who are drawing it, have not studied it. So this is how a butterfly is usually represented. In this t-shirt that I am wearing, this motif of the dragonfly has the wings growing right at the neck, which is again incorrect.
Okay.
So that effect that has come into our brains are conditioned in such a way that although you have studied something, you're not able to apply it here.
Oh, right. Probably because this is just too easier, or maybe this is what we have seen for
This is
longer
just a longer time. Right from beginning, when you were a small child, you've been drawing butterflies. We are all fond of drawing flowers and butterflies and things like that, and decorating our files and other
Correct.
places. So this is how we've been drawing it.
But this is technically wrong.
Yes.
But I'm sure if the real butterfly gets printed on some cloth,
but
it may not be looking so beautiful then.
It will. Even then, yes, even then it will look pretty. Because it is pretty.
In general, yes, butterflies are pretty.
Butterflies are pretty, quite different from moths, which are not all that good looking. Some moths can also be very nice looking.
Okay.
But in general, they don't have so many colors.
Yeah.
So there are differences between a butterfly and a moth, and differences between other insects. So there are so many insects, starting from an ant to a housefly. Nobody finds a housefly beautiful, or a mosquito. You don't find them beautiful.
No.
But it's the same definition, so it has to have 3 parts to the body.
Oh.
And yes, 3, and they all have to begin, the limbs have to begin from the middle part.
I get it.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Now when you say it, I'm able to imagine them all. And the limbs and everything. I can see the 3 parts also.
Yeah.
I never really imagined a butterfly like that.
But they are commonly available everywhere. You are looking at an ant all the time. You are looking at, they are not uncommon things.
No, they're very common.
But then this is our observation. that when you are observing as a teacher of science, also when you are telling students to observe something, you have to tell them what it is that they must observe.
Correct. Oh, yes.
You're telling them to observe an ant, they will say yes, an ant. I have seen what is there
But
to
what
observe.
to
It is just, but what to observe, you have to specify or at least question that. Did you observe this?
Correct.
Some creatures are mistakenly assumed to be insects, whereas in reality they are not, such as the spider, which has 8 legs and 2 body parts. The centipede, which has a body which is multi-segmented with 2 pairs of legs per body segment. And scorpions, which have 2 body segments and 8 legs, no antenna, and they never develop wings. In fact, sadly, there are some educational videos also which are making this mistake of identifying spider, centipede, and even a caterpillar as an insect. Although a caterpillar does later on become an insect, but while it is a caterpillar, it is actually the larva of an insect. Insects play a very important role in our lives. It could be in the positive sense also, and it could also be in the negative sense.
Positive, like all the
bees,
insects are.
So the bees are so useful for us. Without bees, there would be no crops, no fruit, no.
Yeah, because they're majorly responsible for the pollination of plants.
Yes. Yeah. The bees play a very important role in our economy, in the economy of the entire world, by pollinating the crops, by producing honey for the world, and also because of the wax that is obtained from them.
Yeah.
Then again, even the moth can be of great use to us.
How?
Because there are many fruit which are pollinated only at night. Did you know that? Have you seen a dragon fruit flower? I wish I could show you. I have a plant of dragon fruit and it blooms, and the flower is this huge.
Oh.
But it blooms only at night for one night. And during that...
Throughout its life?
No, that flower.
Acha, one flower?
That one flower.
Okay.
Yes. And if it is pollinated at night, if a bee comes and does it, only then it will bear fruit.
Oh.
Otherwise it will not, it will just wither away and there will be no fruit.
Okay.
So yes, or you do it by hand.
Acha.
Artificially you have to ensure, because if you're not sure that there are moths coming at night or any other nocturnal insects are coming to do the pollination, then you have to do it yourself with maybe a brush or something.
Okay, correct. Otherwise the fruits will
Otherwise
not
it will not bear a fruit. So by morning, the flower, it's a beautiful, huge flower. But by morning it has wilted.
Oh.
And you have only that chance that at night
to
you
see.
have to see and to pollinate.
Oh, right.
To make sure that it will bear fruit. And then, the moths at night that they come, there are different kinds of moths also. So the silk that you are wearing, is this silk?
No,
It's
not really.
It looks like a silky kind of a fabric. So the silk that we wear, the pure silk that we wear, that it comes from
silkworms.
Silkworms.
Yeah.
And so the silkworm is actually the caterpillar of a moth.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And when it turns into a pupa or a chrysalis, then it revels this, it takes out this kind of secretes this huge kind of a silky thing with which it wraps itself.
Correct.
And then actually we are being very cruel that we kill them and unravel that silk thread.
Commercially, it's very beneficial, so we don't mind killing them.
So, yes, but then everything has its pros and cons, because that is how they are being conserved. Now you will be surprised to know that there are no more silk moths in the wild. They are all domesticated. And all being reared artificially, they are being reared. They are reared in boxes. So that you get
again because of the commercial importance. Yes. Yeah. So they're being taken care of.
Yes. So they're being, otherwise maybe they would have been extinct.
Probably.
Yes. Extinct. They would have been extinct.
Correct. Okay.
So insects are very important for us.
Interesting.
Ants are proficient scavengers, soil aerators, and dispersers of seeds. Some insects, like the praying mantids, beetles, which include the very attractive ladybugs, dragonflies, lacewings, and many others, are friends of the farmer and the garden because they prey on the harmful bugs. They eat them up. Though it may sound very gross to many, in fact to vast majority of us, insects are also edible. And they have been so traditionally over the ages. People of many places, many tribes have been consuming many kinds of insects. Recently, the focus has shifted on using insects as edible substances in the food industry because of the high protein that they have. Locusts, for one, are a very popular edible insect. Surprisingly, there is an insect known as the cochineal, and as well as another one which is lesser known is kermes, which yield the very popular dye, color or pigment, red one, which is called as carmine. So the carmine dye or paint has multiple uses. It is of course used for artwork and then in the food industry and also in cosmetics. So lipsticks have bugs in them. Lac insects produce lac, which is used in the polishing industry and in other lac products. There are some insects which yield chitin, which is used as raw material for the textile industry. The mosquito kills more people than any other creature in the world. It causes malaria, dengue, chikungunya, filariasis, yellow fever, Zika, and maybe some other diseases or infections. Some honeybees are known to chase and sting people collectively. When the number of stings is too large, it is estimated that 1,000 simultaneous stings can kill an adult. Houseflies are carriers of cholera, anthrax, typhoid, and can cause dysentery, food poisoning, etc. Cockroaches inhabit filth and spread diseases like salmonella, staphylococcus, and streptococcus, and even polio infections. South flannel moths, the larva or the caterpillar of this species stings so sharply that the pain is like sudden amputation. Aphids, also known as ant cow or green fly, destroy billions of dollars of crops. Locusts destroy crops. Although locusts are also edible, lots of human communities consume locusts, but the damage that they cause to crops is unparalleled. Termites consume cellulose and destroy and damage wooden furniture and other objects made of wood, and even trees, live trees. Fleas suck on the blood of mammals and birds.